Hello everyone. You all know that while browsing the internet using a HTTPS website is safe and secure, and a HTTP website is unsafe, dangerous, and unsecure. But do you know how to convert an unsafe HTTP website to a safe HTTPS one? That's what I'm going to help you learn in the next 10 minutes. Let's assume you are using htcbank.com to do some banking. So what happens when you go to your browser and type in the bank's address? Your request, your traffic first goes from your browser to your Wi-Fi router possibly. From there it goes to your ISP. ISP is nothing but your internet service provider. It could be Jio, Airtel or anyone. From there it travels across the world and finally reaches the server of htcbank.com. It gives you a login page, you type in your login credentials, you log in, you access, you do all of the banking, everything is good. You would close htcbank.com. You might think, hey, it is so simple, what's the problem? But let's say you used HTTP, htcbank.com instead of HTTPS. What will happen? Everything will look good, but after 10 or 15 minutes, you'll probably get 10 different debit messages and your account is wiped off. That's what will happen when you use HTTP. Let's understand how that happens. Let's say you have a hacker who has connected either to your Wi-Fi router or he has hacked your ISP provider itself. Once he does that, he will be able to see in simple plain text your username and password of your banking credentials. He will be able to redirect your request from htcbank.com to some other site which looks very similar. You would believe that you are working with HDFC, but the hacker has routed your traffic to somewhere else. The hacker can also inject malicious content into the bank's response, or he can add malicious URLs. You might think the bank is sending this URL, you might click on it, but that could take control of your PC and probably your bank is wiped out in just few minutes time. Now let's understand how HTTPS solves this. The moment you type HTTPS, now your browser is going to be super vigilant. It's going to ask the bank server, hey, first prove that you are legitimately HDFC Bank and you are not a hacker. So what will the bank server do? It will show its ID card. It will say, hey, here is my Aadhaar card. I am HDFC Bank. So what is that Aadhaar card in this case? It's nothing but the digital certificate which the bank has obtained and kept it itself. So who issues these certificates? So there are people called trusted certificate authorities. There are many companies across the world who are trusted authorities. They can issue certificate to the legitimate owners of different websites. So the bank will provide the certificate to your browser will verify it independently, and if everything is good, it will create a secure connection with this server. Once that is done, whatever information you type in, could be your username, password, you are doing any transaction, all of them will be encrypted before sending to the server. Now, the hacker can still read that information, but he cannot read it in plain text. It is encrypted. What he will see is zeros and ones and gibberish characters. He cannot decrypt that information. Only the bank server will be able to decrypt what you are sending, and only you can decrypt or your browser can decrypt what the bank is sending. The malicious guy, the hacker, cannot read anything meaningful. He will not be able to redirect you to any other site, because the moment he tries to do that, the browser will detect that the certificate no longer matches and the browser will warn you that something is wrong. Step number 3, he can also not inject any malicious URLs because the content is encrypted, he cannot edit it. So that is how HTTPS makes your browsing experience completely secure. Now, in the previous video, you might have seen me creating my own website using HTTP. It's currently dangerous, it's sitting out there, it is using AWS S3. I left it intentionally with HTTP instead of HTTPS so that I can make one other YouTube video. Here is the one. So let's go ahead and make my site from HTTP to HTTPS. Basically, 3 different steps I need to do. First, I need to talk to one of those certificate authority and get my own certificate. Step number 2, I will need to attach it to my servers. It could be my CloudFront, it could be my AWS load balancer or anything of that sort. Once both of this is done, I just need to wait for a few minutes and that's all. Now my site will be available with HTTPS in a safe and secure manner. Let's see how we can go ahead and do that. Now who is the certificate authority I'm going to use? I'm going to use Amazon Trust Store. So Amazon or Amazon Web Services is by themselves a secure or a trusted certificate authority. My website, as you see in the previous video, has been hosted within AWS using AWS S3. Currently it's HTTP, so I'm going to use AWS services itself to get a certificate and convert that to HTTPS. Now you have to go to the service called AWS Certificate Manager. You go here and then you say request. So basically you are requesting a new certificate. So I want a public certificate, I hit next. It's asking the fully qualified domain name. So that is basically the URL of my site, which is tzacademy.in. So it's asking if the certificate should be exportable or not. If I say yes, then I'm going to be charged an amount, which I do not want. I disable export, which will keep the certificate free for me. Now, the validation method, very important. Certificate manager, before giving me a certificate, will validate if I am the actual owner of this site or not. Otherwise, the hacker will go ahead and get a certificate in my name, in the name of tzacademy.in, and will be fooling the users. AWS is validating. The first type of validation is called the DNS validation, where it is checking if I'm using AWS Route 53 itself to manage this DNS site, or how I'm doing it. If I'm managing it from my Route 53, AWS knows that I'm the owner. Otherwise, it's gonna send an email to my registered mail address of this domain. I have to accept it from there, and then only I will get my certificate. In my case, I manage my DNS routing from AWS Route 53, so I can say DNS validation. It is asking an algorithm based on which my certificate will be encrypted. I will leave the default, and then I will go ahead and say request. The moment I say request, it says pending validation. So behind scenes, it is gonna connect with Route 53 to verify that I am the genuine owner of this certificate. You can wait a few minutes and then it should be done. Now it says it has been issued. Basically, it has verified with Route 53 that I am the actual owner of this site, and then I have got a certificate. So step 1, done. Step 2, I have to attach it to my server. In my case, I am hosting my website from S3, and directly on S3 you cannot attach a certificate. So I'm going to use a service called AWS CloudFront. It's a content delivery network service which helps you deliver your content to users easily across the globe. So I'm going to use one of that service. You can also be using application load balancers or other services to deliver your website, and this idea of attaching the certificate is very similar. In this example, I'm going to attach it to my CloudFront, but if you use application load balancer or anything, you can attach your certificate to your application load balancer. So let me go ahead and create a CloudFront distribution. I have to give a name. I say TZ Academy distribution. It's a single app. Again, it asks me the domain. I have to check the domain. It is again verifying if it is configured and controlled through the Route 53 or what. It says the domain is managed by Route 53. Very good. I can go ahead and say next. My origin is Amazon S3, as I mentioned earlier. Let me choose this origin. So how do I do this? I can go here. Let me open this. Let me go to properties. And then I can copy my endpoint and put it here. That's all. I have no additional origin path which I need to mention. I can leave that empty. I'm going to leave all of these settings as default. I'm going to click on next. Do I need to enable web application firewall? I'm not going to enable one. I'm going to say no, just to save on the cost. And then it asks about the certificate. This is the step where I'm attaching the certificate. So the certificate which I just created is automatically showing up here. If you have not created one, you can create it right from here and it will exactly do the same thing. But because we have already created one, I'm going to choose that and then I'm going to say next. I'm going to review everything and then I will say create distribution. My CloudFront distribution is finally up, guys. It has synced. Now I'm able to hit my website with HTTPS and access it without any error. Now that you see here, it shows the safe lock icon. It says the connection is secure. And if you go inside, it says now it is verified by Amazon. Why does it say so? Because the certificate was issued by Amazon. That was it. It's as simple as that. Convert your site from an unsecure HTTP to secure HTTPS. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you liked it. Please share your feedback in the comment section. And if you have not already done, please please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much.